When arm and shoulder blocking occurs, the pilot overtaking is unable to position themselves behind the pilot being overtaken. So instead of overtaking from the correct position, which is behind, they are instead forced into the front of the arm and shoulder of the pilot being overtaken. Now this is a very strong position for the pilot being overtaken to be in, and they can resist easily any forward movement from the overtaking pilot. Any attempt by the overtaking pilot to move forward forces them into the centre of the circle, and then when the overtaking occurs, it forces the overtaking pilot to cross lines early and pivot in the centre. The overall result, and the most important factor, is that this causes the pilot circle to stop moving. As you're about to see, this leads to dangerous situations occurring. Here we see that red is the overtaking pilot. Green is about to be overtaken and he places his arm and shoulder in front of the red pilot. The blocking occurs, red is forced into the centre of the circle stops, and this creates a problem. Red is about to be overtaken. He places his arm and shoulder in front of the yellow pilot. The blocking occurs, yellow is forced into the centre, the circle stops moving, and we have a problem.
How you fly?
What you're about to see shows pilots who position their left arm and shoulder forward. This allows the overtaking pilot to correctly position themselves behind the pilot being overtaken. The important factor is that the pilot can walk through the centre as the overtaking is made. This keeps the circle moving, and this is where the whole situation is corrected. Keeping the circle moving is the most important factor in F2C piloting. Here we see that red is the overtaking pilot. Yellow is about to be overtaken and he allows red to position behind his shoulder. Red is able to walk through the centre and the circle keeps moving. So from the example shown, we can easily determine what our major piloting problem is. By watching the examples over again, we can then start to interpret what is happening. It can be seen a number of laps before if the pilot about to be overtaken has their arm and shoulder between themselves and the overtaking pilot. This is the warning sign that the situation will deteriorate if allowed to continue. Waiting until the overtaking manoeuvre has been completed will result in a dangerous situation occurring. The blocking occurs at the time where the overtaking pilot's handle falls behind their model, and this is where the situation can be controlled. This situation often happens over a quarter of a lap apart. The problem can be easily rectified by the pilot being overtaken placing their left arm and shoulder forward, allowing the pilot to position themselves behind their shoulder. Any attempt by a pilot being overtaken to place their arm and shoulder in front of an overtaken pilot can create a dangerous situation.